Good morning and welcome to Ask the Expert, an award-winning daily series from 8:30 to 9 a.m. to help small businesses. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the comments of the live feed. If you need any more advice, you can join the official Intuit QuickBooks SMB community group on Facebook, where the accountants and business experts are on hand 24/7. During this live session, we will be running a poll, so please do engage with it, and I will reveal the results at the end. My name is Eva Mrazikova, and I'm accountancy market specialist for Iris Software Group. I am also a licensed accountant, and I have over 15 years of accounting experience within industry as well within the practice. This topic I'm going to talk about today is something very close to my heart, so I think I'm going to dive straight into it as it's very hot and important topic. So it's making tax digital, and I'm sure you hear it from everywhere. You see it everywhere, making tax digital and all the rules and what it means. But I would like to look at it from a different perspective. And I would like to think about how can making tax digital help you to grow your business and to be successful in your business. So how can something that we have to do because it's a compliant thing, how this can help us in the other way? So making tax digital, what is it? We have making tax digital came into effect since 2019, where VAT registered businesses with the turnover over £85,000 had to change the way that they are submitting their VAT returns. Before then, you just submitted figures from box 1 to box 9 through HMRC portal as a minimum if you didn't have a digital record keeping software. But from April 2019, it meant that any UK VAT registered businesses with the turnover over £85,000 had to submit the VAT return through MTD compliant software. So what's coming ahead is that in April 2022, this scope is widening and all VAT registered businesses will have to be compliant. So not only those who are over £85,000 turnover, but any VAT registered businesses for whichever reason they are registered for the VAT. So even if your turnover is 50 or 60,000 or even less, you will have to be compliant. And then from April 2023, we are going even wider because the making tax digital rules will apply to any self-employed businesses that will have a turnover of 10,000 and more, and also to land and property owners. So those are quite big changes that we will have to adopt. So there is a requirement, if you imagine kind of the making tax digital for the VAT, there was a bit of change and it was quite significant impact. But we are kind of already there. But if you imagine for making tax digital for income tax, it's going to change completely because historically you had only one tax return to submit for the year. But now you will have to report quarterly income and expenses for your self-employed business. There is a discussion, probably there will be at least 2 quarterly submissions if you have self-employed business and if you have landed property business. So suddenly from 1 submission per year, we will have 4 submissions for one business. And then there is a declaration, kind of confirmation of all the figures that you have been submitting by the quarter. and putting through any accounting adjustments as your accruals, prepayments, and so on, any amendments. And then the sixth submission will be the final declaration, your final validation that the figures you have submitted are correct. And this is basically what would be your traditional tax return submission. So as you can imagine, all of a sudden we are going to jump from 1 to 6 returns. So how this can actually help us? So if you imagine, you will have to have up-to-date record keeping, almost live record keeping, and this will help your business to minimize the risk of taking wrong financial decisions. Why is that? Obviously, if you are looking at the financial information that is 6 or 9 months old, that's not very accurate. But if you look at your software, you look at your results for quarter back, you have much more clearer and much more up-to-date picture about your business. So you are able to do your business critical decisions much well informed, and you should be much more confident in whether you can afford to invest in the plant and machinery or taking on another member of the staff and things like that. So this will actually help you to make your critical business decisions more accurately. So you have timely financial information. Automatization. So when we introduce some kind of digital record-keeping software, there will be element of automatization, and artificial intelligence will come into place. Well, the software will be learning about your type of income and expenses. So things will become easier and quicker and more automatic as the software will learn. If you look at your goals and strategy planning for your business, again, because you have those up-to-date information, you can plan and kind of review your strategy on a much more accurate basis, which is, again, very good for your business. You look at your processes as you have them now, for example, and then what needs to change when you will have to be compliant with making tax digital. And all of a sudden, you might see that you're doing some things maybe too laboriously, or taking you too much time, or you're repeating the same things. So all of this digitalization will automatically brings efficiencies in your business. Again, I'm banging on about this point, but because you have timely financial information, you can identify other opportunities to grow your business other way. For example, coffee shop, instead of just for waiting for customers to come through the door, you can think about starting to do deliveries into the office. But you can identify those opportunities much quicker and see whether there are any obstacles to be removed based on your real financial information, what you need to do. Your workload kind of planning and workload should be spread out much more evenly, because all of a sudden you won't be doing books once a year, but you will have to have your financial information prepared on a quarterly basis. So again, your work won't be kind of one big chunk after the year end, but it'll be spread out. Because of this timely financial information, you should be able to see more accurately and more quickly what your anticipated tax bill will be, which helps you then with the cash flow planning, helps you to be able to predict what are your outgoings will be. So again, that is a very big plus. And also, if you look at potential HMRC inspections or any audit that needs to be done in your business, again, because it's being done regularly, you have all your digital records accessible, so there is no shoebox paperwork, not big amount of paper. You have everything in the digital software, so all those reviews, audits, inspections are much easier and straightforward or they should be. You need to remember, though, that to get here to this stage where Making Tax Digital can help you grow, there are a few things that you need to bear in mind. Before you adopt the digital software, you need to do proper migration of your data and proper training, whether it's just for yourself, if you just sole trader, or for your staff. You need a proper training to learn how to use the software efficiently and how to get out of it what you need. So make sure and be prepared that you invest enough time of your time and of your staff time to learn as much as possible before you start the process. This means, again, that your processes should be much more efficient. There shouldn't be any duplication of the processes because you will have everything there. And you use the information in the software so many times for different things. So you are obviously being efficient. To be able to enjoy these fruits of your labor, the most important thing is to remember regular record keeping, regular bookkeeping is a key, whether you do it once a day, every other day, or once a week. Give yourself a good start, and then you will be able to reap those benefits, and this will help you to grow your business and to strengthen your business position. Now, I hope you found this useful. Again, this is a topic very close to my heart, so please feel free to ask questions, but I'm not now going to start taking questions from the queue, and thank you all for tuning in and asking questions. Scarlett on Facebook Messenger. I started making customizable accessories during lockdown to pass the time, and it really took off. I'm doing it all myself, but I think I need to expand. How do I build a team and start to scale, and what costs should I be aware of? Scarlett, well done, first of all, and good luck with anything you set out yourself to do. So this really depends when you're saying you want to grow. So I assume then you probably want other people to help you out. So you need to consider whether you want to employ those people or whether you want to maybe just outsource to them as a freelancers. So if you want to employ them, you need to then bear in mind that as employer, you will have additional responsibilities to look after your employees. You will have to pay the tax on their behalf, submit regular payroll as and when you pay them. Also, then you will have to pay them sick pay and holiday pay. So that would be extra costs to you. And you have to provide them with everything that all the equipment, computer, all the tools that they might need to do the job. So that will be extra cost for you. Also, in terms of expanding, I assume you would be producing much bigger volumes, which means that you will have to buy in more stock. So again, there will be higher outgoings for you meant in the business, which means that you can really benefit from the real-time record keeping because that will show you where you are, what's your reserve, how much you can afford. And also you can plan. So if you have, say you're doing commission, you're doing kind of volume of work or specific client, you know how much money you are getting in. So you can kind of plan. Again, that's very important if you are working on a bigger scale, that your credit control policy is kind of clear, that people know until when they have to pay you. Don't make it too generous, so you're not struggling for the cash, because many businesses, what they do, this is called over trading, really, that they grow, they expand, and they sell so much, they do so many services, but then they wait in a long time for the money for their services or products to come in. So although they're doing great, and they busy between the work, they're struggling to get the cash flow in, the money in, and then obviously they're struggling to pay their suppliers. So make sure that you are planning those, that you kind of securing regular trips of income coming to your business, so then you can pay off your suppliers, you can pay the wages if you have employees, you can pay the PAYE. Also, one thing I should have added, if you employ people as well now, you have to provide them with the pension scheme as well through auto-enrollment. So those are all things that you need to bear in mind. So although, yes, if you expand, if you will grow, you will have much more income potentially, but you will have higher outgoings and bigger responsibility based on what you decide, whether you'll be employer or not. What I would advise you, don't go through this yourself, but seek specialized person, which is accountant. Seek their advice, at least at the beginning of the journey, because they can help you not to make mistakes that you would maybe do if you do it by yourself, because you don't have the experience. So make sure that you seek professional advice. There are so many wonderful accountants out there who will be able to advise you on this journey. And Scarlett, good luck with that. Derek on Twitter DMs. I'm really annoyed at what IR35 has meant for my contracts. I've been looking into substitute clauses to get around it, but I don't quite understand them. Can you explain it, please? Derek, hi. So IR35, it's a bit complicated topic, and I wouldn't want to generalize because a lot of it depends on your specific circumstances. So you're either out or outside of scope or inside of the scope. So you need to, I'm happy for you to reach out to me or to our team after, and just to hear the specific, because I wouldn't want to give you wrong advice. The rules changed, so you need to make sure that first of all, you know if you're in or outside, and if you're in, why are you in and what it means, and look at those specifics. So I'm not going to elaborate on this kind of here in this platform, but please feel free to reach out to me and we can go through your specific case and see what I can advise you on. So please do get in touch. Will on Twitter, why are there so many submissions in the new system? I don't understand how this makes it easier by giving us more work. I know, Will. I know it is going to be quite a difference. This is the biggest shakeup since the self-assessment has been introduced in the UK. So I do understand how it might seem, but we can choose to do things. We can complain and moan about it and just talk about how bad it is, or we can just get on with it and do it and try to use it to our benefit. So you can choose what you want to do. Yes, I know it's going to be horrendous, and the workload for the accountants, it's not going to double, triple, but quadruple and even more. So that's why you need efficient systems in place from the start, so that you can cope with this. So if you are a business, you need to make sure that you set up how you mean to go on, that you have all those processes, procedures in terms of the record keeping refined. You are doing your record keeping frequently and up to date. So when it comes to the point of quarterly submissions, you are there and ready, and it's just a press of the button. But to get there, you need to look at your processes as you have them now and what needs to be improved, because sometimes people duplicate things, even triplicate. They're not using their time efficiently. So yes, I know it can be seen as a beating stick in many cases, but the bottom line is it is here, and we'll just have to get on with it. So we have to find the most efficient way. I know in the short term, it will be giving you quite a lot of extra work until you get used to it and until you get yourself up to speed. But I would believe that once you are in that stage where you are up to date, you know what you're doing, it shouldn't be giving you that much extra work. And you should be able then to work with the information you have at your fingertips, kind of looking in the future into your business with much better overview, much more confidence in terms of the decision making. When I look back at the first Making Tax Digital, and for some clients it seemed completely impossible thing to do, to get them to do quarterly record keeping. But you know what? The strongest cases where we thought this is not going to work, this is not going to be possible, they probably were our best clients, because they just took it on their stride and they just got on with it, and they actually seen the benefit of doing it. So try to look at it in a different way. I'm kind of always the person where I try to look into some opportunities in any adverse situation, if we can call MTD kind of adverse situation. So try to look at it from a different way, because it won't go away. Many people thought that it will never happen, and here it is. We are already the first stage down the line, and we are looking at the next stages. So try to see how this can benefit to you. And if you are struggling to see it yourself, again, please reach out to the accountant. There are so many wonderful professionals out there who will help you to do this, and who will help you to set up and to be efficient. I'm happy to chat to you afterwards as well, so feel free to reach out to me, and we'll get through it. Good luck. Kevin on Instagram DMs, is it true that small businesses are exempt from MTD? If yes, how long for, and what happens if you don't sign up beyond this point? So Kevin, this small business definition, well, that depends, because the income tax, Making Tax Digital for income tax, it says turnover 10,000 and plus. So that's not very big business. When we talk about exemptions, there will be some exemptions. For example, if you are in the area where there is not kind of very good internet, or for religious reasons you can't, things like that. So there are very specific sets of exemptions that you can enjoy, would be the word. You can apply, but I know that the HMRC will be quite stringent with the exemptions kind of granting. So it depends. So it's not really, it's very generic that small businesses will be exempt, because even now from April 2022, even VAT registered businesses under 85,000 will have to comply. So again, this will depend on your circumstances, and I would like to know why you think you would be exempt, or your small business would be exempt. And how long for, again, that will depend on the HMRC. In terms of the income tax, we are such an early stages here that HMRC is still bringing out more guidance and shaping it. We didn't even start beta. So this will all be coming to the light as we go on. So you watch out for those exemptions, but then look at your business kind of with the critical view, whether you will be able to enjoy that exemption. Hopefully this helps. Evie on Twitter DMs, does MTD affect self-assessment? If yes, what will be have to do and when? Yes, it will affect the self-assessment. Well, the actual deadline for the tax return submission is not going to change unless HMRC changes it drastically. So always for the period ended the 5th of April, you will have until 31st of January the following year to do your final declaration, final submission. But it will change in a way that you will now have to report quarterly your income and expenditure rather than just once a year. So kind of your traditional tax return submission, in a sense, will be your sixth submission and your final declaration of that. So for the self-assessment, this will be quite a huge change, the way you are going to report. And it won't be that you see your accountant once a year anymore. I would hope that you would have to be in touch with them once every quarter. So make sure you kind of foresee that and bear that in mind, that you will have to have up-to-date record keeping, even for self-assessment. So that is a big change. Aisha from, sorry, it's just jumped on me here. Aisha from Facebook Messenger. I heard businesses above the VAT threshold can choose not to join MTD for VAT and continue to submit returns as they always have done. Is this true? And if so, what is the threshold? I'm not aware of this in the traditional sense, Aisha. Any VAT registered business above the threshold of 85, there would have to be specific exemption. So it wouldn't be anything in general that those businesses would be exempt. It would be very specific. So I would be surprised if it's kind of some kind of rule to go by. It would be more exemption than the kind of traditional rule. So if you think that your business might be in that sphere of potential exemption, again, this needs to be specifically reviewed, specifically for your case. So I'm it's a little bit muddy for me to advise you on that, because I'd say there would have to be specific case for you. If you are UK VAT registered businesses over £85,000, there would have to be specific exemption for you to be able to do what you always done and not having to be compliant with MTD. If you know any different, get back to me. I'll be curious to know, but didn't hear much. The exemptions are quite strict, I would say. Alan on Instagram DMs. I do use QuickBooks currently, but for some calculations, I still use spreadsheets. For MTD, do we have to solely be using software, or can we still do a mix? So you should be able to use just the software, Alan. When you say for some calculation, I would be intrigued to know more. Yes, probably there might be some supporting calculations you want to do off your software, but if it comes down to be compliant with MTD, the kind of point of that is that you have a digital link with the information that you are submitting. So if you imagine that if you're doing something off the software, there is no direct digital link, there is a break in the digital link. So I would be a little bit unsure whether this will be still the case. There is obviously the bridging software that you just kind of plug in the figures, but then you have your record keeping on the spreadsheet. Again, I would be intrigued to know more. What kind of, do you have to do any specific adjustments, or it's you are a member of any specific schemes why you would have to do it? Generally, it should be all coming up from the software, and if there is any adjustment or calculation that you're making aside in the spreadsheet, you're making in the software, if you have backup of these calculations, this still should be okay. But probably clarify with your accountant or HMRC how long this will be sufficient for, because there is this talk about not having a break in digital links there. Really, hopefully this helps. And the time flies absolutely quickly when you're having fun. So I'm actually at the end of our half an hour session. I'm going to announce the poll results. So we have asked you, is your business set up for making tax digital? 25% of you said yes, 50% of you said no, and 25% answered, my accountant will do it. Lucky you, 25%. I'm still a bit concerned about 50% of you said no. There is quite a big group of you guys. If there's any way we can help you, reach out to our Facebook community group page, ask questions, join forums like this, join sessions like this, so you can learn, speak to your accountant how they can help you to onboard on your digital journey. Make sure you are not burying your head in the sand and you act now, because you want to be prepared when the compliance actually kicks in, so you can have actual rehearsal time to do it. So when it's kind of sharpish time to do it, you get it done right. We are here to support you. Our QuickBooks community Facebook page is here to support you guys. So please reach out to us, or please reach out to me on LinkedIn or Twitter. Feel free to do so, and I'll try to help you as much as I can. So hopefully you found this useful. As I said, this is very vibrant and busy topic for me, and in whatever stage on your journey you are, I wish you all the best of luck, and thank you so much for tuning in. Coming up on Ask the Expert tomorrow is Anne-Marie Martin, and she's founder and franchisor of Didi Dance, with over 40 franchisees across 50 territories. Tune in to find out how to grow a franchise empire. A reminder that if you need any more advice, you can join the official QuickBooks SMB community group on Facebook, where the accountants and business experts are on hand 24/7. As always, I really enjoyed answering your questions, and thank you all for tuning in. Have a lovely day and have a fabulous week. Bye.